Hello everyone, and welcome to my Bold and Beautiful Today channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Ridge Forrester's bankruptcy is being concealed. Everyone is wondering if Ridge Forrester is broke after reading spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful. Is he hiding his insolvency? The reason for this is that a lot of people have said that Ridge doesn't seem to have a distinct role on the show. In different episodes, Ridge seems to be bouncing back and forth between Brooks and his father Eric Forrester's houses. Some people have questioned whether Ridge and Taylor owned a home at the time of the twins' birth. Or has Ridge spent the whole time lounging on the couch? Even better, he might be broke in secret. Naturally, this plotline prompted comments from online soap enthusiasts. Hope does not need to stay in that dark, dimly lit cottage on her mother's property any longer. Some even observed, there's no real reason why Ridge doesn't have his own place. However, the show is too cheap to construct a new set, which is one reason why Ridge may have his own space. Spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful, what will happen to Ridge next? Another backer wrote, technically, he was the one that bought Brooks' home and the Bel Air mansion where he lived with Taylor and their kids. A second observation was made, he and Taylor owned the house Bill now resides in. The loft Carter now has was Ridge's when he was with Caroline, and I believe the beach home where many characters have stayed was his, as he told Taylor they should try to reclaim it. To find out what happens next, fans of The Bold and the Beautiful will surely need to tune in every day. A family conflict breaks out, forcing Zen to decide between Hope's fashion brand and Forrester devotion. According to teasers on The Bold and Beautiful, Steffi is pressuring her rival to leave, forcing Zen Forrester Dominguez to decide between staying with Hope's fashion firm and being loyal to the Forrester family. A family conflict breaks out, forcing Zen to decide between Hope's fashion brand and Forrester devotion. According to teasers on The Bold and Beautiful, Steffi is pressuring her rival to leave, forcing Zen Forrester Dominguez to decide between staying with Hope's fashion firm and being loyal to the Forrester family. Exploring showdowns and impossible choices, Sheila plots with Luna, and Steffi confronts Hope as Zen's loyalty is tested. At Forrester Creations, the battle lines are being drawn, and nobody is immune to the repercussions. Zen Forrester Dominguez must decide between his commitment to his family and his design career, while Steffi Forrester is about to unleash her wrath on Hope Logan in a long-awaited encounter. As if the drama wasn't enough, Sheila Carter and Luna Nozawa start a dark new alliance that could spell tragedy for everyone. Everything is transformed by Steffi and Hope's explosive showdown. Soap aficionados, I can assure you that the upcoming show on Wednesday will be explosive. Steffi has had enough of being kind. She is firmly demanding that Hope be permanently expelled from the Forresters. This has become far more personal than just business. Steffi wants her enemy completely removed from the company, not just Hope's fashion line, after Hope and Finn's shocking kiss. Furthermore, she is no longer suppressing her emotions. On Wednesday's episode, Steffi will tell Hope how she really feels. It is expected to be a historic confrontation between these long-standing rivals. There will be yelling, accusations, and the emergence of long-suppressed animosity. Although these two have clashed in the past, I have a sense that this time will be completely different. Hope is helpless after Carter makes a crucial error. Carter Walton made a terrible mistake that could cost Hope everything in his rush to keep her safe. He never got anything in writing while he was negotiating with Ridge and Eric to keep Hope for the future alive. Hope is completely vulnerable to the whims of the Forrester family because of this startling omission. Since she doesn't trust the Forresters any more than they do her, Hope was understandably furious to learn of this crucial mistake. Hope is exposed to Steffi's grudge since she lacks a contract or other legal arrangement to protect her line. It should come as no surprise that these two ladies are going to argue passionately about Hope's position at Forrester and the future of HFTF. Which twist is the most fascinating? Sources claim that Hope may feel pressured to end the situation on her own terms. If Hope decided to leave before being ejected, can you picture Steffi's reaction? That would be the ultimate power move, denying Steffi the satisfaction of dismissing her rival. Zen's impossible choice, design future or family legacy? Zend Forrester Dominguez is caught in the crossfire of conflicting allegiances amid all of this chaos. As Steffi tries to eliminate the line entirely, his position as a fantastic hope for the future designer is in jeopardy. Zend, who is obviously uncertain about his future, will be discussing the latest Forrester developments with Daphne Rose. Everyone's main concern is whether he will choose his commitment to Hope's fashion business or his Forrester ancestry. Being a real Forrester by blood and Eric Forrester's grandson, Zend has a strong sense of familial loyalty. However, he has invested his creativity and passion into Hope's collection, establishing his reputation on the same designs that Steffi was keen to do rid of. Will Zend make the unthinkable choice to join Hope if she decides to leave Forrester, possibly to start her own fashion house? The fashion industry would be rocked by the idea of a Forrester designer leaving the family business to work for a rival, thereby shattering the family. The bond between Hope and Carter is what keeps them together. Hope's developing relationship with Carter may end up as collateral damage in this business dispute, endangering more than just her job. If Hope splits from Forrester, how will her relationship with Carter change? Will their work commitments cause them to separate ways, or will Carter stand by Hope no matter what she decides? This is the first big test of their relationship, and the outcome could decide whether or not they have a future together. Luna and Sheila, a horrible grandmother-granddaughter bond. As though the drama surrounding the Forresters wasn't enough, Sheila and Luna are forging a truly frightening alliance. Sheila was ecstatic to learn that Luna was, in fact, her grandchild, and now these two dishonest women are forming a family. What aspect is the chilliest? Their next move is already being planned. Sheila and Luna are probably preparing a fight back and trying to get into Finn's life because Steffi is preventing them from interacting with him. With Luna's youthful resolve and Sheila's decades of experience wreaking havoc, they could end up becoming the most deadly duo in B&B history. What harm will the defenseless residents of Los Angeles suffer as a result of this newly formed family bond? Finn is in the line of fire. Sadly, Finn is inadvertently turning into the center of a complex family power struggle. Although Sheila and Luna are equally adamant about dating, Steffi is desperate to keep Sheila away from him at any costs. How is Finn going to manage having to choose between his wife and these newly found relatives? Despite his intense commitment to Steffi, Sheila and Luna will put him under constant pressure, which might be disastrous. Spoilers indicate that Steffi will eventually lose her temper at Sheila and Luna's recent relationship. Steffi's reaction upon learning of these two's activities is certain to be dramatic, considering her history with Sheila. No one will escape the chaos at Forrester Creations unharmed, including Steffi, Hope, Zend, Carter, Finn, and everyone else entangled in this web of intrigue. Alliances are being made, battle lines have been drawn, and loyalty will be put to the ultimate test. What do you anticipate happening next? Will Hope be forced to leave by Steffi? Will Zend's job as a designer contradict the Forrester name? How disastrous will the relationship between Sheila and Luna be? The drama is just getting hotter, that much is clear. A clash of titans on The Bold and the Beautiful. Steffi harbors resentment while Hope battles for dominance. Steffi Forrester and Hope Logan stood on either side of the gleaming mahogany table, their animosity rekindling like a dormant volcano as the Forrester Creations boardroom, a glittering symbol of tradition and ambition, erupted with tension. With decades of betrayal, jealousy, and familial loyalty weighing heavily on the gathering executives, the air was heavy with unspoken accusations. Steffi exuded the cold serenity of a queen defending her land, her designer jacket well-tailored and her raven hair arranged into a harsh updo. Hope, on the other hand, emanated a serene intensity, her distinctive pastel attire contrasting with Steffi's monochromatic armor. Why this confrontation? A proposed merger between Hope's Hope for the Future brand with an eco-conscious European luxury consortium constituted a danger to the hierarchy of Forrester Creations and, according to Steffi, would have rewritten the family's history in favor of Hope. The history of the rivalry, a long-sealed avenging. Although their complicated love triangle was the most visible battleground, Steffi's hatred of Hope was never limited to Liam Spencer. Identity, ancestry, and the fundamental hierarchy of the Forrester family were all at stake. Steffi's name was a byword for privilege and power, and she had been cultivated for leadership since she was a little child. Steffi's feeling of entitlement had been eroded by Hope's resolve and refusal to be ostracized. Hope, the Logan girl from the valley, had always been an outsider, a reminder of Brooke's transgressions and the Forresters' persistent disdain for the family they considered unworthy. The argument over Douglas Forrester's custody had gotten out of hand. Despite having no biological claim to the boy, Hope had battled valiantly to protect him from Thomas's manipulations, and succeeded, while Steffi had watched in quiet rage. The fact that Hope had infiltrated the Forrester inner circle and usurped a position that Steffi felt belonged to blood was a personal insult to her. During a heated dispute at the Cliff House, Steffi screamed, "You're not his mother," her voice shaking with barely contained rage. "You're just Brooke's daughter, playing house with someone else's family." Hope's counter-argument, "Love creates a family, Steffi." Not a last name, had struck a chord, exposing Steffi's fear beneath her bluster, which months later had developed into a resentment that affected every interaction and boardroom choice. The power play, Hope's struggle for self-sufficiency. Hope's power struggle began as a nonviolent uprising. Weary of begging for scraps of attention at Forrester Creations, she secretly reconstructed Hope for the future as a semi-autonomous organization, working with sustainable fabric suppliers and attracting investors who shared her brand's mission. Her goal was to leave a legacy separate from the Forrester-Logan dispute, but her ambition clashed with Steffi's attempts to control her. "This isn't about fashion," Steffi slammed a packet of financial estimates onto the table at an emergency board meeting, accusing Hope of siphoning resources and dividing the family's focus. Ridge, ever the mediator, attempted to minimize the conflict, but Steffi's anger remained unrelenting. "And Hope's has been clear about hers." Hope's response was calm but incisive. "It's not about loyalty, Steffi. It's all about control. You've spent years selecting who deserves a place at the table. But I'm not seeking permission anymore." The discussion descended into chaos, with Carter Walton, divided between his allegiance to Eric and his growing respect for Hope, urging compromise while Brooke jumped to Hope's rescue. The only one who seemed to comprehend the seismic shift occurring was Thomas Forrester, who looked strangely solemn. He murmured, "She's not the same Hope," to Zend, who shrugged, more worried about the fallout than the argument. Steffi's bet, scandal and sabotage. Steffi struck back swiftly and viciously. Citing financial irregularities in the accounting ledgers, she used her position as co-CEO to freeze Hope for the future's budget. After that, she gave Spencer Publications insider information about Hope's diva demands and ethical compromises, painting her as a phony whose empowerment persona was a front for private greed. However, Steffi misjudged Hope's resolve. Armed with proof of ledger tampering obtained through a secret collaboration with Zoe Buckingham, who had her own revenge against Steffi, Hope faced off against her rival in the design studio. Hope gently whispered, "You can try to bury me, Steffi," even though her eyes were storming. "However, I have earned my spot here and will fight for it, with or without your consent. I am no longer the girl who breaks down." Steffi's facade faltered, revealing the unadulterated jealousy underneath. "Do you believe you have earned anything? You've depended on Dad's guilt and Mom's sorrow. However, what about this business? I own it. We own it. Furthermore, I won't let you change the past. Adversaries and allies and family fractures." The dispute revealed both new and old fractures within the Forrester and Logan clans. Liam, ever the waffler, alternated between defending Hope and begging for peace, his conflicted allegiances straining his marriage to Steffi. Ridge, torn between his daughter's ambitions, withdrew into whiskey-fueled indecision while Brooke launched a public relations offensive, framing Hope as a visionary and Steffi as a petulant heir. One unexpected source of rationality turned out to be Steffi's husband, Finn. He said, "This isn't you, Steffi," while they were arguing late at night in their Malibu kitchen. "You are better than sabotage. Better than her." However, Steffi, whose job was in jeopardy and her pride bruised, redoubled her efforts. Slamming her wineglass against the counter, she said, "You don't know what it's like to fight for your birthright. Hope has always been an underdog. But I earned every scar and win. And I will not let her take it from me." Quinn Forrester, on the other hand, saw an opportunity to weaken Brooke's influence and became Hope's strange ally. Quinn cornered Hope in Il Giardino and hissed, "Do you want power? Then stop abiding by their rules. Demolish the throne and build your own." Hope turned down the offer but retained the advice. The showdown, a legacy battle. When Hope's Hope for the Future collection was supposed to debut alongside Steffi's Intimates revival at Forrester Creations Fashion Week display, the altercation broke out. Hours prior to the show, Steffi noticed that Hope's models were wearing dresses that remarkably resembled her own creations, a coincidence set up by Quinn, who had joined Hope's team. Furious, Steffi barged into Hope's dressing room and yelled, "You're a thief and a fraud," shoving the damning sketches into Hope's hands and saying, "Just like your mother. I did not do this." Hope, who was taken by surprise, refused to back down. "But if you're so determined to portray me as the monster, perhaps you're the one who is terrified." Just before the presentation, the truth came to light. Quinn had set up the arrangements to pit the women against each other because he wanted chaos. However, the damage was already done. Steffi withdrew backstage after being embarrassed by her snap decision, and Hope stole the show, sending a statement that went well beyond the runway. Hope clarified, "This industry thrives on competition," her voice trembling with passion. "I'm here to build, not to destroy, and I hope that others will help me in overcoming the resentments that stand in our way. Tonight, however, isn't about Forrester versus Logan." "Bravo, Hope," she said with a poisonous smile, "but this isn't over." Steffi's quiet clap from the wings cut through the loud ovation. A fragile truce was the aftermath. The basic disputes remained unresolved despite the shaky ceasefire that was negotiated over Forrester Creations in the days that followed. Steffi reluctantly restored Hope for the Future's funding, and Hope consented to work on a collaborative collection, a compromise mediated by a weary Ridge. In the meantime, Hope dealt with the fallout from her ambition, Douglas's confusion over the family quarrel, Liam's increasing loneliness, and the nagging fear that she was turning into the very thing she had fought to avoid. Steffi's resentment solidified into a quiet grudge, and her once unwavering confidence was shaken by Hope's resolve to back down. Will Steffi reverse Hope's situation? Whether it was over Liam, control at Forrester Creations, or the never-ending battle for dominance in their family legacies, Steffi Forrester and Hope Logan had been caught in a painful cycle of love, family, and power struggles that never fully ended, only developed. However, this time, the tides had turned, and Steffi was ready to take charge this time, and she wasn't going to let Hope see it coming. Steffi had seen it all, and although Hope may have thought she had won, Steffi knew better. She had learned from experience that Hope's victories were frequently short-lived, and now she was preparing herself for the ultimate setback. Hope had been riding high for months, feeling as though she had finally gotten the upper hand, but her relationship with Thomas not only defied expectations but also shocked Steffi in unexpected ways. Hope had always been seen as the nice, wholesome one, the one who represented love, loyalty, and doing the right thing. The first step was regaining control. Steffi had allowed Hope too much authority at Forrester Creations for too long, and although her decision to step back had seemed to be the best course of action for the business, she now understands that it was not. The success of Hope for the Future had emboldened Hope in ways that made Steffi uneasy, and it was time to remind her who actually held the reins at Forrester. Then there was the personal side. Steffi had always been able to control her emotions around Hope, but Hope's reckless decisions were making it hard. It was shocking that she sought a relationship with Thomas, who was also Steffi's brother and a man with a troubled past. Steffi was not going to sit back and watch Hope manipulate Thomas's feelings. If Hope believed she could continue this romance on her own terms and without repercussions, she was going to be proven to be wildly mistaken. The deal of Carter Walton and the suspicion of Hope Logan. When Eric Forrester arrives at the Forrester mansion on Monday, March 17, Donna Logan, Steffi Forrester, and Taylor Hayes are all present. Ridge informs them that Carter Walton has consented to return the business to the family and that he destroyed his copy of the LLC documents. The word copy is crucial here because he did submit those documents to the state, so there is still more to be done. Hope Logan Spidey, meanwhile, is suspicious that Carter has changed the balance of power at Forrester Creations, So she questions him about whether they are still in charge and whether his name is still on the LLC documents. He tore them up, but that doesn't mean it's over. The alliance between Luna Nozawa and Sheila Carter is a surprising twist on Bold and the Beautiful. In an attempt to form an alliance, Luna Nozawa shows up at Il Giardino and approaches Sheila. She tells Sheila that she is her granddaughter, and Sheila is ecstatic despite the fact that Luna killed Deacon Sharp's close friends. She literally embraces her, welcomes her with open arms, and kisses her in the face. That's Finn's baby girl, so that's going to be Sheila's little grandbaby girl, and I don't think Deacon will approve of this at all. March 17th to 28th Bold and Beautiful 2-week spoilers. Ridge is astonished, Daphne shows off, and Sheila celebrates. B&B spoilers, Forrester Creations revolutionary discovery. Eric and Ridge are dealing with a huge revelation at Forrester Creations on Tuesday, March 18th, which is supposed to change everything about the company on Bold and the Beautiful. I wonder if Hope is acting in a desperate way that has an impact on the business. In the meantime, Steffi is still not entirely certain that Carter truly intends to return the company, and she wonders if this has anything to do with Brooke Logan, who was a chemist in the past and once owned a sizable amount of stock due to her bee leaf formula, the anti-wrinkle miracle thing. Eric and Ridge will undoubtedly tell everyone that part of the agreement they made with Carter was that Hope for the future remained active, but I noticed that Eric included a disclaimer: as long as Hope for the future is doing well, then of course they'll keep the line, because that was the whole issue before. She still doesn't trust him, and she still believes Hope has her claws in him. It was struggling and not doing well, so it didn't make sense to keep spending money and time on it. However, it appears to be doing better now, which is something Steffi doesn't want because she believes Hope shouldn't be allowed to sit at any table at Forrester Creations and she doesn't want her line. However, I don't think Eric and Ridge will allow Steffi to do that. Since they will be free to do as they like once they regain control of the company, they will attempt to prevent Steffi from ruining the agreement by making such a huge issue out of Hope. Spoilers for Bold and the Beautiful, Hope vs. Steffi showdown. We have a Hope vs. Steffi showdown coming up on Wednesday, March 19th. Whatever this shocking event is, Hope is on one side of it, and Steffi is on the other, and I think it has something to do with the Logans. I wonder if Hope purchased some sort of insurance policy because she felt like Carter was hesitating ever since she saw him embrace Ridge. I really want to see her in full villain mode, taking revenge, and I'm enjoying seeing her like this and playing dirty against Steffi. She has been very suspicious, and when she demanded that he make Daphne leave and he didn't, that might have been 2 strikes against him. Hope then played a move, and we're going to find out about it. I hope that's what happened. March Madness interrupts the Beautiful and Bold. Unfortunately, there will be no new episodes of Bold and the Beautiful on Thursday and Friday, March 20th and 21st, due to the March Madness basketball playoffs. This means that there will only be 3 episodes in the first week, which is really disappointing, but there will still be significant progress on these plots. March 17th to 28th Bold and Beautiful 2-week spoilers. Ridge is astonished, Daphne shows off, and Sheila celebrates. Ridge Forrester, Daphne Rose, and Sheila Carter are bold and beautiful. The fears of Steffi, Daphne, and Zend Forrester on B&B. That brings us to week 2, which runs from March 24th to the 28th. Daphne and Zend Forrester Dominguez have more scenes together these 2 weeks, and Zend has been adamant that Daphne must stay to support the family. Daphne was actually prepared to leave after feeling rejected after she kissed Carter. However, after Hope confronted her and threatened her, Daphne was more or less like, well, let's see what happens. She then stood there and watched calmly as Hope insisted that Carter send her away, but Carter refused to do so, and Daphne seemed to think, okay, maybe I'm not going to fly away. I wonder if Daphne will acknowledge that she is staying to fight not only for Forrester Creations but also for Carter, to save him from Hope, since Daphne is pretty sure the other woman is using Carter. Zend, of course, is happy to know she is still on the Forresters' side. Naturally, Steffi will be and should be more afraid than she has ever been because those two are frightening enough as individuals, but together, they are literally Steffi's worst nightmare. Meanwhile, Steffi is more terrified than ever after learning that Sheila knows Luna is her granddaughter and that Sheila and Luna have connected and are becoming close. Since Steffi has already irrationally told Finn that he must find a way to send his daughter back to prison, something that cannot be undone by a pardon, this could be the final nail in the coffin of Finn and Steffi's marriage. To make matters worse, Sheila is now free and clear, so poor Finn will bear the brunt of this. Bold and the Beautiful, Hope's power play and Deacon's horror. Sheila's marriage may also be in jeopardy because Deacon will be appalled, almost as appalled as Steffi, I believe, to learn about Luna and Sheila's familial ties. Of course, Sheila won't give up Luna, and she's finally going to have a grandchild with whom she can be close, despite the fact that it's someone who killed two of Deacon's friends, possibly his only friends. However, this could be the first significant obstacle to Sheila and Deacon's marriage. The relationship between Carter and Hope is clearly on thin ice, and even if Carter doesn't let Hope deter him from completely dismantling the LLC, I'm still wondering if this is something that Hope did behind Carter's back to make sure the Forresters don't get their company back, even if Carter doesn't stay in control. Eric and Ridge navigate this new challenge, this revelation that has changed everything. Daphne's kiss on Carter had already put her and Carter's relationship in jeopardy, and it's obvious to Hope Carter that he has feelings for Daphne, even though he hasn't acknowledged it yet. Hope's extreme vengefulness and power-hungry tendencies, even if they are justified, aren't helping their relationship. Hope may have one last chance to gain control, but she is set up to lose everything when things don't work out for her, unless she has been extremely cunning to ensure that she gets what she wants.